My older brother thought he was pushing my buttons, but the whole time he was teaching me how to push his. My older brother Kyle has always made it his hobby to embarrass me. Not in that playful sibling way either. I mean the kind that's so traumatizing you consider going to therapy. It all started the day my friend Mitch came over to play Call of Duty. We were in the middle of a match when Kyle barged in with this huge grin on his face. He looked at Mitch and said, "Did he tell you he still pees the bed? Mom just bought him new sheets last week." Complete lie, obviously. But Mitch's face changed like he was embarrassed to be seen with me. He never came over again. That night I lay in bed thinking about getting back at Kyle, but then I thought maybe it was just a one-time thing. Maybe if I ignored it, he'd get bored and move on. Boy, was I wrong. The next weekend I had my whole study group over for our AP history exam. We were actually making progress when Kyle walked in holding my old photo album, the one Mom kept from when I was a baby. Before I could even react, he was showing everyone pictures of 3-year-old me in the bathtub. "Look at his little butt," he announced like he was presenting a TED Talk. My blood was boiling, but I didn't want to ruin the mood, so I just laughed. Meanwhile, one of the girls, Nessa, took a pic and put it on her Snapchat private story, and by Monday morning, half the junior class had seen me as a baby in a bathtub. I cornered Kyle that night while he was gaming. "Please stop doing this to me," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. He didn't even pause his game. "Learn to take a joke, lil bro." Then came the moment I knew I had to strike back. My crush Aaron came over. We were working on this chemistry project, and things were actually going well. Then Kyle appeared in the doorway holding my diary. Kyle started reading it out loud in this mocking voice. "Sometimes I wonder if people just pretend to like me because they feel bad for me. That's why I'll never be enough for Aaron." Aaron's face went from confused to uncomfortable to completely shut down, like she wanted to leave. She finished the project in silence and never spoke to me again outside of required group work. Sitting there watching Aaron practically run out of our house, I realized Kyle would keep destroying every relationship I tried to build until I had nothing left. But my light bulb moment came quickly, because that's when I noticed something interesting. Kyle had started bringing a girl to the house. Her name was Grace, and she was the first girlfriend he'd ever had who lasted more than a week. For 3 weeks, I watched them. She'd come over after school, and they'd hang out in his room with the door open because of Mom's rules. She really liked him. You could see it in how she looked at him, laughed at his dumb jokes, wore his hoodie. That's when I knew exactly what I had to do. And the beautiful part? Kyle had taught me exactly how to do it. The next Tuesday, Grace was over as usual. They were in his room listening to cigarettes after sex. I took a deep breath, put on my best confused face, and barged in exactly like he always did to me. "Oh, hey, Grace," I said casually. I took a deep breath and faked a look of extreme confusion. "Wait a second," I said. Kyle rolled his eyes. I waited until me and Grace locked eyes before continuing. "Wait, is this the same girl that was in your bed earlier? You look different." Grace's face changed immediately. She was angry. "What girl from earlier?" I did this fake awkward laugh and looked at Kyle, who was shocked I was biting back. "Lol," I continued. "Oh, sorry. Kyle had some other girl over earlier today. I didn't realize he brought a new one over. Anywho, make yourself at home," because the other girl sure did. The silence was so strong I almost laughed with how much I'd messed things up for him. Grace stood up slowly, grabbed a pillow from his bed, and threw it at his face. "Are you kidding me right now?" Kyle started stammering. "He's lying. Grace, he's totally lying." She was already heading for the door. "Yeah? Then what is he talking about?" They spilled out into the hallway, then the front yard. Grace was crying and yelling, FaceTiming her friend on speakerphone right there in our driveway. The whole neighborhood could hear her sobbing about how Kyle was a player, how his own brother tried to warn her. That's when Kyle lost it. He spun around and screamed at me, "You're such a jealous loser. No wonder I have to lie about you to my friends. No wonder I bully you. You do it to yourself." Grace turned around slowly. "You lie about your own brother to people?" Kyle's face went from angry to panicked as he tried to backtrack. "No, I mean, not really. I mean, kinda. It's just stupid stuff, like jokes." "What kind of jokes?" "Just, like saying he's adopted, or that he's weird. It's not serious." Grace looked at him like she was realizing who he was. "So you're just a bully." She looked at me then, and her face softened. "Has he always been like this?" I nodded. I looked around and saw our parents standing in the front garden, and they'd heard everything. They grounded Kyle for 6 months. Grace is my girl now. I never thought I'd be into cougars.